Holy shit, is that a red car? Yeah, I guess it is. There's a red lawnmower, but... Oh my god, is that a red car? Oh, fuck. Don't tell me they're multiplying again. Dude, these cars need to stop fucking on my property. I can't afford it. Alright, folks, so what we have here is a 1999 Ram 1500. I'm calling this the Mike Tyson Special because, as you can see, she's a little crooked. You know, it's, yeah, so she took a pretty hard hit here. This was a good buddy of mine's I worked with for a couple of months, and he bought this truck. Kind of got a little ripped off on it. Somebody charged him $5,000 for this at one of those stupid little used car sales lots. Honestly, that kid probably could have done a lot better with his money, but you know, it is what it is. He wanted the truck. He had fun with it while he was driving it. Unfortunately, he was stuck in two-wheel drive, and he was driving in the snow, and he's a younger kid, so I don't think he was really prepared. And he spun out. He hit the Jersey barrier pretty good. He was probably doing 50 or so. Yeah, it's a pretty good hit, but anyway, he kind of was pretty torn about it, so he ended up selling the truck to me for pretty cheap. I'm only about like $500 into it. So it's a runner and a driver. It's just it's got your typical leaks, and obviously the front end damage is a bit extreme. I mean, it hit so hard the dang quarter panel got pushed into the door. That's how you know it was a good one. And then, you know, you get down here and you get a real good look. You get a real good look at the radiator support. Yeah, you see how that's pushed in? I mean, that side's yeah. But on the goods side, I think the sway bar is still straight. I don't think the sway bar mount is kinked. It might be, this bolt might be kinked a little bit. I'd have to actually get in here and measure it to find out. But I don't think it, I think this little thing here absorbed all the shock, and it did not do anything to the frame rail. I pushed it right into that that steering box right here. I mean, it's right up against that. You can see it is just stuffed into that. I don't know how that's even like not, it doesn't look like it's scathed. It doesn't look like anything's wrong with it, but like this hit was so hard. I mean, it pushed the whole nose down this way, so like on that side it looks like the tire, it looks like the whole axle shifted that way, but I think it's just because of how crooked the nose is. But anyway, it still drove straight as far as I know. I actually haven't driven it yet. Somebody else drove it here and parked it in my place. So anyway, I didn't want this truck, but we have it. It's supposed to be a good friend of mine's, but anyway, he couldn't pay for it, and I helped him pay for it, and then he couldn't pay me back, so it's mine now. So I'm gonna see what I can do with it. You know, I had a plan to kind of fix cars up, you know, buy some used junk from somebody that doesn't run, you tow it home, and you pull the dents out of it, shine it up, make it run decent, and sell it to somebody that needs it, right? It's kind of a nice thing to do. It's just most people, when they do that, they rush it and don't fix anything, and they just give it the landlord special, but I'm not about that life. I actually kind of like working on cars and keeping old things like this running that deserve to be running, because as you can see, these things can take a hit. You try doing that in a 2020, you're done. That car is totaled. You're not saving it ever. This thing is fine. Other than the headlight, I could drive this on the street right now. So, you know, that's just something to say about these old cars. I refuse to own anything newer than like mid-2000s. Even that Chevy Cobalt out there is like almost too new for me, but it still drives like an old car, so it's not bad. I just, you know, I learned to drive in that Cutlass back there, so it's just I'm kind of partial to that generation of cars, you know. Doesn't matter if it's American, European, Japanese. I just like the 90s and 2000s vehicles. They were kind of built better. But anyway, A lot of Bondo on this truck. That's why I'm saying that kid kind of got a little ripped off. So this whole bed is Bondo. You can see it's starting to bubble up again. When he hit the wall, he spun it around, and yeah, now you can see all the Bondo. Bondo Picasso was added on this thing. We have the rear bumper's toast. Rear frame looks really nice. I'm hoping to put a tow hitch on it so I can tow home some junk vehicles, like I said. I've also got a lot of scrap laying around this place that I need to get rid of. So this thing will actually come in pretty handy, so I suppose it's good that it fell into my lap. But anyway, I still got to get plates on it, so I had to pull it into my yard. I don't have a driveway exactly. We just sort of... Anyway, we just move the gate and bring it back here. You do what you got to do. I'm not even the only one on this block that parks on the lawn, so it doesn't bother me. But anyway, that's just a little intro to this thing here. I'm going to slowly start taking it apart and see if I can pull this front bumper apart, get a better look at the frame rail damage, and see what can be done about it. See if it is kinked the axle at all, which I don't really think it has, but there's no way to know until you start pulling stuff off and like get a real good look at it and measure some things. As it is, I can't really tell because the nose is so crooked and there's no, there's no straight line to apply my vision to. So anyway, it's gonna be a lot of work for me. I only get 2 days off a week. I have a 9 to 5. As much as I'd love to just wrench on cars all day, every day, it's like I gotta have a backbone for this. This stuff's not always a sure thing, as most people would know. But anyway, I do think I can save this fender. I know a little bit of body work, so I can probably pull this back straight and hammer it a little bit and just give it a once over with some spray paint. I'm not going to do the whole Bondo Picasso deal there, but at least to get it straight so we can fit a headlight back in it would be amazing. The one amazing part, speaking of that, is this radiator. This radiator is so twisted. I mean, it's like a styrofoam plate when you load it up with too much food at the party. Look at this thing. And there's no hole in it. It does not leak. There is no hole. So, I guess we'll keep that. That's the thing. I'm not trying to spend too much on this truck because it's not really worth it. It can be a good truck, though. I mean, I'd like to clean up some stuff first. But anyway, follow along if you want to see what happens with this thing and possibly the other 2 red cars I inadvertently own. Because I didn't want either of those either, but, you take what you can get sometimes. Cars are hard to come by these days, especially ones that are kind of mechanically sound. A little bit of rust here and there don't mean much if you got a good motor and good tires, right? Alright, so things I'm struggling with today. Not enough caffeine, wrong tools for the job, or at least minimal tools for the job. Mosquitoes, they're everywhere. Yeah, anyway, we're trying to get this radiator support off, and the tools aren't very sorted. This is what happens when you got like 2 generations worth of family tools boxed up and laying around, and you don't have any actual toolboxes or garage space to sort them. You just kind of bucket it up and just pray. So anyway, between me and my dad, we're trying to sort this stuff out, but there's a lot of tools. So anyway, all I can find is this to undo some of these fender bolts. I already got a plethora of other bolts out of this thing. I'm basically trying to just pull the radiator support out and the AC condenser out, get the front bumper off, get both quarter panels off. Probably, I don't know if the wheel wells come out or not. I don't really know these trucks at all, so bear with me here. I just need to get a look at the frame down there because I know it's shoved over this way. It's mostly pushed in on this side, but that side of the frame is pulled this way very slightly. You can tell because of that, for one, and on the other side you got, a little extra gap, so this whole nose feels like it's shoved over about, like 3 inches, I'm guessing, by the wheel gap on this side and on that side. All the force went into like right there, The bumper is probably still good, but I think honestly I might just replace the whole front clip on a kind of the Bondo job. It's pretty awful. I thought I could maybe save these fenders, but then there's like no metal left. You know what I mean? And look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look, here's the mosquitoes. But anyway, look at the fucking Bondo. Who does this? It's not even round. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, I'm gonna keep hacking at this, remove some more bolts, and see what I can do about pulling off some fenders. Progress is being made. As you can see, we have those things out, and I have this 90% off. It's just this one last little bolt is asking for all of the breaker bar. So when I have this off in 10 more minutes, we can start pulling the radiator support off and examining the frame. Stay tuned for more excitement. Oh, now we get a real good look at that. That's what it should look like. Anyway, so from what I can tell, this frame rail side definitely got stretched and pushed into that, so that's a little banana. All right, see, you probably can pick that up. She's definitely a little crooked to this side. Could be worse until you come down here and you take a look at the cross member here. Now it's hard to see from here, but it should be straight with the axle, I would assume anyway, and it's definitely coming this way. So what happened was when she got stuffed into wherever she got stuffed into, it pushed in that side, but it actually squished the frame in like this at the front. So it like, so that center brace got kinked in. So that means I need to replace this corner and the center brace, or at the least cut it all out and try to bend it back to shape, which with steel this thick, that might be easier said than done. But anyway, most people would probably just chop the front frame off and fix it, but I think this will do for now. Oh man, I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. Huh. Anyway, somebody also explained to me why these fan blades are uneven. I thought maybe they got bent in the rack, but no, those two are just like that. I've never looked at one of these before. I have all front-wheel drive cars, so usually they have an electric fan, not a clutch fan. I'm guessing it's just some sort of balancing thing. But anyway, interesting. So yeah, what we're going to do probably is keep disassembling. I'm going to go ahead and cut as much of this off as I can so we can unbolt the steering box, make sure that's all honkadory. Replace these lines probably because they're pretty crusty. And yeah, because this thing got pushed into the steering box real good. So I want to make sure that's not damaged. It's just the bolt that holds the steering box on is currently hidden. So today is the end of the day for me. This has been enough work just pulling this off. I got the fender off too. That was fun. But yeah, I'm going to call it here now that I got a good look at everything. I kind of know what I have to do. Hopefully I can find a frame rail section somewhere to buy so I can just go and weld this on. But I'm guessing I'm probably going to have to try to tuna can it back out and piece it back together with anything I can find. But you know what? We'll look. It's going to be a sitting for a while, though. I don't think I have much money to be throwing at this. But once it's done, it's going to be a good truck for somebody. Not for me, because I'm not a fan of big vehicles. The gas tank's about the size of me, and I am big boy. So I don't want to be filling that thing up every week. Anyway, stay tuned for some more hacking and slashing on this thing. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, actually. This is a good hit, but not as bad as I was expecting. It still drives straight, so all right. Yeah, sorry about the mumbling. Been a long week for me. I've been through a lot of stuff, but projects like this are what help us keep our sanity, am I right? Like and subscribe.